Hey everyone, Braydon here with Pickleball Effect. Really excited to get this podcast going again, be back on the mic. I've been on break for the last month or so. We just welcomed a new little girl to the family. She's beautiful, and I've been spending the time with the family. She's getting chunky. She's really, really cute. But I'm excited to be going at it again. We're going to be releasing weekly episodes on Tuesdays again. But this time it's just going to be me. I got a new location here in Idaho. Based out of an indoor place. Somebody's knocking. Border.
We're gonna be using the meeting room.
No, I got this booked for podcasting, like tryouts.
Tryouts?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I might have read the schedule wrong.
Do you want to?
Who's all trying out?
Well, nobody. But I was hoping someone might come.
Well, I'll try.
No one RSVP'd, but I thought, you know, everyone's busy.
Well, you've already got like another microphone.
Yeah, like just
set
in
up and
case.
everything.
Like I put out the ad, but yeah, dude. So I do this on a weekly basis, man.
Oh.
It's Porter Barr. You're interested in co-hosting with me?
I mean, like full time and everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
like
do it.
You're cool.
Why not?
I mean, you got to give me a little bit of background. Like I don't want to just hire you quite yet.
My name's Porter Barr. I'm 17 years old.
I've heard of you.
Pickleball enthusiast extraordinaire. I take photos and video, and I do some audio production. I'm about to graduate with my associate's degree from the College of Western Idaho this May.
Dang.
You know, I've been working really, really hard on pickleball for such a long time, and I think I would be the perfect candidate for this podcast.
All right, I'm open to giving you a shot. All I really care about is if you just show up every week.
Oh, I mean, I think I can do that.
5 o'clock every Sunday.
5 o'clock every Sunday.
You're
I
down?
think that'll work.
All right, dude.
Sweet.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. Thanks for having me, Braydon.
You're no. Thanks for responding to my ad that you didn't actually
I saw
mean
it.
to respond
No,
to.
I was.
Or you just trying to play it cool?
Kind of. Yeah, I didn't want to like seem super like into it.
Man, that is just a taste of what people are going to get on this podcast.
It's going to be a lot of ridiculousness, plus a little bit of pickleball, I think. So
Some pickle, some ridiculousness. That should be the tagline.
yeah.
But yeah, dude, I'm honestly really, really excited to have you on the pod with me. You bring a lot to the table, a lot of experience.
For people watching, I am actually joining.
Yeah.
So in case that wasn't clear, I'm here now.
Our acting was pretty convincing.
I think so.
Like
yeah.
no way anyone thought you came here on purpose.
Yeah.
That was purely by chance.
Mm-hmm. I think we did good.
But no, we've been chatting about this for a while, and I think this in-person dynamic invested a lot in some new equipment here, and I'm excited what we bring to the table. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a really, really good time. I'm super excited.
Yeah,
for this.
No one knows. I don't think people realize what's about to hit them, but once they do, they're going to tune in.
I agree.
They're going to tune in.
I think that this is the first time. This is like the first two dudes talking about pickleball podcast out there.
Yeah.
So
I
I feel like we're kind of changing the game right now.
Big time.
So, no, this is gonna be good. I'm excited.
This will be good. You've been playing for such a long time. You're very you have a very big network within the pickleball community. You got your ear to the ground on stuff. So you're gonna bring a really interesting perspective. You're really intelligent, really smart. I mean, you're 17. You're about to get your associate's degree. Mm-hmm. It's really impressive what you've done with your life. But it's just
thank you.
It's just now gonna get better.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you realize the fame I'm gonna bring you.
If my life was like a movie, the first 17 years would be the kind of, get to know me part, and this is the climax.
This is the climax.
So
this would be good. But yeah, man, just to introduce you to the audience, get to know you a little better. I prepared some intro questions.
Okay. All right.
So full disclosure, I think this is hilarious. So this is our third attempt doing this, and we've done this intro piece twice.
I think we rehearsed it once or twice. So
this is like my third set of questions I've come up with, because I think it's more authentic
nice.
if they're new questions.
All right. So yeah, I don't have any ideas what these are.
So we're here's the fresh ones.
Right.
I was really proud of our last
I
recording.
was too.
They were good questions.
But I kind of screwed it up when I said earlier I know how to like audio engineer and stuff. And I'm still figuring it out.
It's gonna be smooth sailing from here. There's gonna be some bumps, but we're here. We are third intro of Porter.
Third intro.
This will probably be the best. So you guys aren't missing anything. All right. What was your most recent purchase that wasn't food?
Oh, that's a tough one. I genuinely can't remember. Probably.
Do you not buy things?
I try not to. I'm really bad about it, but I'm trying to save money more often.
Good for you.
Usually it is food that I like to buy.
Okay, well then what was the last food you bought?
McDonald's. I had
You a dollar menu guy or do you go big?
I go big.
You go
I got
big?
2 plain double cheeseburgers, a large fry, and a medium Coke. That's what I live off of. If you're trying to get to be a good pickleball player, that's what I would recommend.
Yeah, diet is so underrated.
I
Like
agree.
you need the calories.
Yeah.
You need
As long as you have the metabolism of a 17-year-old, you'll be fine.
tip number 1 from Mr. Porter Barr. There's so many more tips to come.
Yeah. That's my whole thing.
All right. This is the next question. So I know you're in school, you're graduating soon. What is the lowest grade you've ever gotten?
Oh, an F.
What was the subject?
I think it was environmental science.
Was it because you skipped class?
No,
like, it's kind of
it
hard to
was-
get an F. Like I wasn't expecting an F from you.
Yeah, dude.
Like you're talented. You're like a responsible person.
Yeah, I feel like
You have to try to get an F.
I do a good job of putting on that look.
The reality is,
But no, I mean, so it was environmental science. It
even know
was
that.
completely online too. So I could have just cheated, but I didn't. And I
so you're taking the high road here. You're saying
basically,
the F wasn't as bad as it sounds. Like it could have been worse.
It
You could have
could have been
cheated.
worse.
I mean, what's better, an F or cheating for an A? I would say an F.
I completely agree there. I think the hardest part was it was just so much work in a time that I was just doing so much, and I kind of just I just couldn't finish. And like I had a decent grade throughout most of the class, but like in the end I kind of just like couldn't do it.
Did you have to retake it later?
I did. Yeah. So
Yeah, that's the worst thing about Fs is like you have to redo the
Yeah.
class later.
but won't happen again.
But it's incredible that you're getting your associates here soon.
yeah.
Like it's pretty phenomenal.
I've worked hard, but like I've lucked out in a position where I am being like homeschooled for my whole life. I've been able to do pickleball. I've been able to like advance faster in
Yeah, you have a
school,
really
and-
unique life.
yeah.
Really.
I mean,
You've
like
been very involved with pickleball from the beginning and doing the school thing and managing
Yeah.
both of those, and it's really cool.
yeah. I mean, I'm super happy where I am. So
Yeah, really impressive. And then, all right, next question. So this one actually is a repeat from last ones, but I think it's a fun question. So what's your favorite comedy TV series?
yes. So I have 2. I can't answer with just one because there's so many that are good. But I think one of them is Parks and Recreation. It is just it's such a funny show.
What resonates with you from Parks and Rec?
I don't know, man. I think I really, really like Andy as a character.
Okay.
Chris Pratt.
Yep.
I don't know. It's just such a funny show.
You guys, like you got some characteristics similar.
Kind of,
with him.
yeah. I mean, like, I sadly am not a multi $100 million grossing dollar actor. So
Well, we're
like,
talking
that's
about the
kind
Parks
of
and Rec
different,
character.
but
character.
Andy, yeah,
Yeah,
Andy. I
Andy.
think we're both a little kooky, I guess, but he's just hilarious. All of those episodes
Yeah,
are
he's-
hilarious. I
they're
can
all
watch
fun.
everyone over and over again.
And then what's the
But
second one?
The second one is a show that I'm sad not as many people know this. It's called Psych. It's
I know
about,
Psych. I know Psych.
It's about a guy named Sean Spencer who was raised by his dad, who was a detective, to like analyze things in a way that a detective would. And he kind of got so good at it that he kind of faked being psychic to the Santa Barbara police station and ended up being a psychic detective, even
Yeah.
though he wasn't psychic.
The show
And
is just like so ridiculous.
it's so ridiculous.
Sean, I mean, no one would do what he actually does.
No,
but
but it's so
he pulls
funny.
it off, and it is so funny.
It's such a good
yeah,
show.
I'm a fan of that one.
So-
And then I'll add to that list for one of my faves, Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Captain Holt, I think, is the best
he's
character
so funny.
that has ever been created.
Yes.
He's
He's so,
oh my
he's
gosh,
so mad.
so funny. All right, last question.
Okay.
Who are your favorite PB players to watch?
Ooh. That's a good one. I would say probably my mom because she's great. And I have to say this.
She is phenomenal. She is fun to watch.
She is very good. I do enjoy watching my mom.
Don't like act like it's a chore. You have to say it. Though.
I know.
She is fun to watch.
I do enjoy watching my mom. I just get stressed out when I watch my mom because like I feel like I'm there with her for some reason, and it's like this super super intense moment. I'm like, oh my gosh, she has to do this. So
Yeah,
I
I
start
can imagine.
freaking out.
For those listening that don't know, so
yeah.
Porter's mom's a touring pro.
She's in a bar.
She competes primarily APP, but she does some.
She does well.
She does
in
she does
PPAs and
MLP. Yeah, she had a phenomenal year last year. So many golds, you can't even count them.
It was great.
She did well in Punta Gorda this last weekend. 2 fourth places. I think Nunnery. Did he get injured or something? He got hurt. They had to withdraw from. You get
He
sick.
was sick or something like that. So
Yeah, she had to withdraw from one of them. Anyways, another great weekend. Expect a lot of good things from her this year.
It's great.
You plan on doing more events? You gonna do the quali grind?
Yeah, I would hope so. Like I said, I am a full-time student right now. So once I graduate, my goal is to definitely take it up a notch, try to go to more tournaments, all of that. But yeah, I mean, right now school is my main priority, but once I'm done, I would love to hop on the grind and just get going.
On the APP side, for people who are like at your level where they're like on the just around the corner, right? So do you qualify for events? Do you have to do qualifiers? Like where are you at?
So you do have to play. I have to play qualifiers
You're
just
still in
because
the quality stage?
I haven't played as many tournaments as a lot of players. That's the biggest thing. Like, you don't necessarily have to win every match, but as long as you played a ton of tournaments, you just get
build
points.
up points.
And so
Getting into the draw is just purely based off of points.
yes.
And then they have like what 3-4 spots for qualifiers.
Yeah, it's even more.
Is
almost.
it more now?
Yeah, it's like we've had the qualifier brackets like up to 16 teams. Like
Nice.
it's been
So it's like a legit tournament for the tournament.
It's ridiculous.
But usually you only have to win like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
You don't like actually play out the full bracket, right?
It's only single elimination in the 16 teams.
Gotcha.
So like, but yeah, I mean, I would love to.
When do you graduate?
This May.
Okay, so it's coming up. That's like right around the corner.
Yeah, it's pretty soon.
Sick,
so
dude.
I'm
Good for you.
excited. I'm ready to be done.
Really impressive. Yeah, man. I'll definitely be watching. It'll be fun to hear your experience, talk through it here as you
Yes.
are battling through that. I think you can do it, dude. You got the game, and I mean, a lot of it is just hitting the road, like just being there, getting the experience, and just doing it. And that's the hard
excited.
part. But you're at a cool stage in life,
Yeah, totally.
where you can make that happen. Like you got your associates. Like you don't have to worry about school. Like you can go hit it.
Yeah.
While
No,
you're
I mean-
and then you're working here. So we're recording at this place is called the Flying Pickle, getting repped right here. And it's in Meridian, Idaho. You're an instructor here. You work the front desk.
Yeah.
You serve me food,
I do. Yeah, all the time.
and I take
I
advantage.
eat a lot, man.
I make you do McDonald's runs for me. But yeah, you're in a cool situation where you can do both and work.
Yeah.
And then
And that's the thing. Like, I love coaching. So even if I don't end up going like full-time pro, which I would still love to do, I would be totally happy just being a coach because I enjoy it.
how many lessons do you think you do a week?
Normally on average, like I said, I'm not teaching as many right now. But like I would say on average I was teaching a decent amount up to like maybe 10 a week.
10 a week. That's quite that's a couple a day.
And that was like really before I was even taking it super, super seriously. So
It blows my mind the demand for lessons.
oh, it's so high.
I don't
It's
really
crazy.
have a desire at the moment to do lessons. But like if I wanted to, I could find people so easy.
I mean, like honestly, especially for some reason in Boise, just because we don't have compared to like the ratio of really like decent players to lower level players is very, very skewed towards the lower level players. So pretty much any like 4 or 5+ player can start teaching lessons, and they'll probably get clinics. Or clients.
It's
or whatever.
pretty. It blows my mind every time.
Mm-hmm. So
that's exciting, man. I'm gonna be traveling more this year. I want to compete. I don't know if I'll do qualifiers, but I'll be traveling doing 5-0 stuff. Maybe a qualifier
why are
here
you
and there.
more able to travel, Braydon?
Oh, I got some really big news. I'm glad you brought it up because it's just part of me now. So I'm officially full-time Pickleball Effect, dude. This is actually a really kind of a funny story. It was like an act of God that everything's like falling into place here. So I'm currently I was on paternity leave.
Mm-hmm.
So I had the baby December 8th, Indy, love her. She's great. Taking care of Indy. I get with the job, the company I was with, I had an 8-week paternity leave, 6 weeks into it. So this was like 4 days ago now, like not long ago. I get a call from my CMO. So I work for our marketing team. He's like, Braydon, I know you're on paternity leave. I know you just had a kid, but we're going through a round of layoffs and your position was eliminated. So it was, when he called me, it was just like a random number on the phone. I didn't know what it was. I don't know why I answered, but I answered it because I was there and I saw it. And I was like, immediately I was like, oh, I bet I'm getting laid off.
Yeah.
And I was just like hoping that would happen because I was literally planning on quitting 2 weeks from now when I got back from paternity leave. Yeah. And so it saves me the headache of having to quit because I was feeling really guilty about planning on going back to work and then just quitting right after paternity leave. But they relieve that stress from my shoulders and they're giving me like a severance package. Yeah. So I get a little cushion of money as I start this new journey in Pickleball Effect. Yeah. But I'm so excited for this. I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but I've been doing Pickleball Effect for years.
Yeah.
And it's just slowly built up. And like the last 6 months or so, it's been it's getting just bigger and bigger.
Yeah, exponentially.
And like something had to give because I was working full time. I was doing that. I was trying to do family stuff, and I picked pickleball. And so here I am. I'm doing it, and like I'm not someone who's averse to risk, but I wouldn't do it unless I thought I could make it happen. And I really think I can make it happen. And I'm really excited to see where I can get this thing, putting my full attention to it. And yeah, dude, the people are gonna be seeing a lot more of me, whether they like it or not. Hopefully they like it.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
But yeah, this is a new stage. This is a big year. And I'm just most excited about just owning my own time, doing what I love. Yeah. Like I had a really good job. Like I made good money. Of course, all the, other benefits that come with that through, company perks and insurance and all that junk. And it's kind of weird not having that anymore. But I think down the road I can make more money. But ultimately, it's just like I own my own time. I can do what I want. My destiny's in my hands, and I got a family to feed. I got a mortgage to pay. So nothing's more dangerous than a man or a woman that's got to feed their family.
Yeah, you really putting pressure on me to show up.
Yeah, that's why I said you got to. That was my one criteria. You just got to show up. You just got to show up for her.
Yeah.
No.
But before we get like too far into the actual topics, we should probably thank your old co-host, Logan.
Dude, you're making me sound like a dick because I didn't bring that up first.
No.
But seriously though, thank you for saying that, because big shout out to downtown Logan Brown.
Yeah.
He was fantastic. I did recognize Logan immediately in the first 2 takes. So Logan, don't be mad at me that Porter brought this up first, but I'm seriously super grateful for Logan. Go follow him. He's still doing things in the space. He has his own YouTube channel and Instagram. It's called Sunday Deacon Club. We may have him on here every once in a while if Porter's traveling or something, but he's a superstar. Really proud of what we did. But yeah, go follow Logan.
For sure.
He's gonna get mad at me, dude.
No.
He's gonna be like, Porter had to bring it up.
No.
Porter had to bring it up.
I just, he's a cool guy, so I felt like it was important for me to bring it up.
But I'm glad that you knew that I wanted to say that, because I did bring that up in the last attempt.
I was like, where's he going with this? He's forgetting Logan. no, it wasn't.
Yeah, Logan's a superstar. But yeah, dude, let's start with some gear and some paddles. So over the it's been a month or so since I've been talking stuff, and so lots happened in the paddle scene. A lot of people have moved.
Yes.
And I recently published a review about the Franklin paddle. So I want to talk about the Franklin paddles with you for a sec, and then we'll talk about some of the moves that's been going on. Kind of hear your take on that. But so Franklin has not done anything for the last couple of years. their STK release last year wasn't great. Yep. No one really since Ben Johns left, like they really haven't done anything.
Right.
So they released some new paddles about a month ago. It was kind of like under the radar a little bit. I've seen a lot of sponsoring. We're starting to see it pop up here more. But anyways, I got my hands on all 4 models. So they have 2 elongated models and 2 standard shape models. And they were designed with their pros, primarily I think Georgia and JW. So JW, they both play with it now. It's thermoformed. It's got it's got all the things that people want and expect in a modern paddle. They don't have any gimmicks. They don't have any, like they actually built a paddle that people would want.
They actually made a paddle.
But
which is good.
Because it's Franklin, they had to do something, right? So their thing with these is that they're like pro weighted. They're very heavy. So the one that JW plays with is called the Dynasty 16. Has like 134 swing weight, which is insanely high.
That's ridiculous.
And its static weight is like close to 9 ounces, which is just heavy. And but when you watch pros, they all have their paddle weighted up like crazy. Mm-hmm. Do you weight yours up like crazy?
Yeah. So
you do. Do you have like a static weight that you shoot for?
Yeah, so usually I like to order paddles a little bit lighter, like 7/8 to 8 ounces. Pretty much no one in the pro scene will play with that light, and I don't either. The reason why I order so light is because there's just so much more like customability. That's the word, customability.
Yeah.
That sounded weird coming out for some reason, but there's so much more of that you aren't really able to do with a heavy paddle, because using a ton of lead tape on a light paddle, can
tungsten tape. We only talk tungsten here.
Bleep.
I'm cutting that out.
We got more when you're able to like customize it more with the classic Pickleball Effect tungsten tape.
Classic.
On like more specific targeted areas, and weight it up that way. Generally, I'm able to really, really fine tune how I want my paddle to feel.
Because every paddle's just a little different, right? Like you may have like a general location. It's like all paddles, I'm going to start here and then move it up and down, kind of depending how it feels, what the weight came in. I'm the same way. Like I like weight. I typically advise people to put on weight. I think there's a lot of advantages to it, but you can put too much on. And if you can't control the specific locations, I think it reduces kind of the effectiveness of the added weight. And so I think in general, like there's their Dynasty 16 and then their shorter Tempo 16, like they play well, but they're just heavy.
They're just heavy.
And you can't customize the weight. I think for most people, it's going to be too heavy.
That's the whole thing, is like when you do get a heavier paddle, it sort of like cuts off how much you can add weight, because
it's just whatever that comes in as.
Yeah,
you don't get to
like if you're going to weight that 9 ounce paddle up, you're going to end up at like maybe 9.5 ounces. And a lot of people don't want to play with 9.
The idea of the 9 ounces, you don't have to customize it.
Right.
And so I think that's what they were going for. But anyways, I think it's an interesting idea. I like the idea that they're trying to push more weight, because I do think there are benefits to weight. But I think it's going to, I wish they had like a light option for people who don't want the heavier paddle or who just don't want to add as much weight. Because I honestly liked how it felt and played, because weight makes it a little softer, gives that a little extra pop and power. But I think they went a little too much on there. But they're 14 millimeters, which are typically like underweighted. A lot of them come in like a 7.7 just in general.
Yeah, okay.
Like, not just theirs, but like in general, 14 millimeters or lighter, right? So these ones came in around like 8.3, 8.4, and like they were money. I liked the 14 millimeters on both of them.
That's good.
Because I always add weight on 14. And so I think their 14s are going to be more popular than their 16s. And 16s in general, you don't need as much weight on there just because they are heavier. They're already more
softer,
stable.
Yeah.
And so there's not quite as much advantages. So they just went so heavy on those. So I think they missed the mark on the weight on the 16s, but I do like the way the 14s play. But if you're interested in that, go check out that review. I just did a written one because there's 4 paddles and I didn't want to make a video. It was going to be really long.
Yeah.
And then next paddle review is going to be this kind of lesser known brand. The paddle's called the Hirachi X. So I kind of have like a lull in paddle reviews right now. I was expecting some new paddle releases coming out that got delayed. And so I had some time to try some new paddles. So I went and tried a bunch. And this is the one I decided to review. I liked it. So
what was it called? The Hirachi?
The Hirachi X. I have it here. The brand names, I think it's 11/6/24. It's something weird. Let me
go ahead.
I have to pull it out.
Yeah, you're fine.
But yeah, like 11. Oh, we can cut this out.
Oh, I'm keeping this in.
Keeping this in.
I'm keeping this in. I want people to see the struggle it is to be a podcaster.
There. Yeah, 11.624. I had it right. Boom.
Yeah.
Proof.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's a cool paddle. The thing they're doing with it is they have 3 layers of facing materials. They have a carbon fiber, fiberglass, and then carbon fiber. Anyways, they're like advertising it.
Yeah.
That they have 3 layers and they're doing something different. Anyway, it's
Yeah,
kind of cool. It
that's
plays
interesting.
nice. Plus, it's a good price.
It's cool to see like newer companies doing new stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
sure.
it's subtle and it has a really long handle, but it plays nice. I like it.
Yeah.
So that's coming up. But yeah, let's talk about some moves. So the biggest one was Tyson DeYola, obviously.
Yes.
There's been a lot of chatter about this. He was a Selkirk guy. You're sponsored by Selkirk.
I am. Yeah. Dude, I think it's crazy. I think it's very.
Did you ever think it would happen?
No. I mean, I assumed it probably would eventually, but I never really like expected it, because it's like Tyson, more than it feels like any other player, really represents one brand, and he is the face of Selkirk almost. I mean, they've got other players for sure, but when you think Selkirk, you think Tyson, you think mullet, you think electric. And like to see him switch is not necessarily shocking, because I'm sure he made a very good decision for himself.
Yeah, he's got to look out for number one ultimately.
Like at the same time, it is like the biggest face in pickleball, like moving from this company that he's been with for like so long.
Yeah.
And so I do think it is very cool to see. Like, I think it is good that he's like changing up the atmosphere in the pro tournaments even more. But it's also interesting, like maybe how's Selkirk really gonna react from this? And
I mean, they got Jack Sock now, which is obviously a big lift. They got Porter coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You got to watch out for that. But no, I mean, they'll be fine, right? But it was kind of crazy, and that he got paid.
Oh yeah,
and like you got to be happy for him. Like the dude has built his brand.
He's a great guy. He's super nice.
Like few tournaments I have been to, like he's really cool about taking pictures, getting involved with the crowd. There's a lot of reasons. I mean, there's a lot of reasons people follow him and love Tyson, but
he's definitely like not just on social media, like big and loud and exciting. He's that guy in real life, which is cool.
Yeah.
Like,
really impressive what he's built.
He's
cool.
Yeah, he's great. So.
Yeah, excited for him. Yola sponsors so many people.
They do.
Do you think there's like a saturation? Like, is there a point where like sponsoring people doesn't help you anymore?
I do think so. Definitely. Like, I feel like that's almost the same with Selkirk to an extent.
Yeah, they sponsor a ton of people.
I've realized that with Yola, lots of because they're still like compared to the like original 3 Selkirk, Paddle Tech, and Gauge, like they're so new. It feels like it's still really, really cool to get a Yola sponsorship, and I'm not sure when they're gonna reach that point where people are gonna start noticing and being like, oh, everyone's just a Yola player, like who really cares?
Yeah.
And I feel like brands can definitely reach that point, to the point where like they do have to slow down sponsorships and stuff. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see how
like Tyson, he's got to move the needle a little bit.
Yeah.
But in most cases, sponsoring a pro, especially where they are, I don't feel like there's really that much more advantage.
Totally.
Like they have so many. Same with like Selkirk has so many. Yeah. Carbon has a bunch. Carbon just got a new sponsor, Elise Jones. She's a fun one, right? Like she's another one that's built a kind of a fun brand about Mighty Mouse or whatever. Just going out there diving and rolling. And so she's playing with the Carbon 2X 14 millimeter. I'm a big fan of the Carbon 2Xs. They're some of the most like forgiving paddles. Yeah. And they still got a little pop and jump to them, which is nice.
I think, like it is just very interesting because pickleball, unlike some sports, like you can have a favorite player, but you're not necessarily going to be a fanatic who goes out and buys all of their like jerseys and their outfits and their paddles and stuff. And so once it gets big enough to the point where we do have people really, really getting influenced by those pros, like I think it's useful to have sponsor players, but like it doesn't make as big of a difference as it would.
Yeah, I agree. I having a few I think is really good for the brand because for a couple of reasons. One, like if you're playing with that brand, even if it's not their paddle, but you're playing with that brand, like it makes you feel cool.
Mm-hmm.
I think you want to feel confident and look cool on the court,
Mm-hmm.
and you feel more confident with a more recognized brand and a paddle that's being used by pros. It kind of validates like your decision a little bit.
Totally.
Whether you bought it for them or not, like I do think there's an element to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's just the promotion side. But I mean, how many people really? I mean, like the percentage of people that play versus watch is pretty.
It's pretty
big.
It's pretty low.
And then Pro XR now has Riley Newman. I didn't feel like this was as big of a deal as like Tyson, even though Riley is like a phenomenal player. I mean, he's kind of bounced around
like Riley
the last couple of years.
Yeah, I feel like when he's got a set partner who's very good to play with, he's the number 2 player in the world, like without any doubt in my mind.
Is there someone he could partner with that you think could beat the Johns brothers?
I do think if he keeps playing with Thomas Wilson,
you think that could be a winning combo?
Could genuinely do very, very well. I think the thing with Riley is he just isn't as active on like social media and all of this stuff.
He's kind of cringy.
He's
I'm saying it like his videos.
His videos aren't the best, no, for sure.
Have you met him in real life? I don't really know.
Have.
Is he cool?
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's a nice guy. But he definitely doesn't have the whole, like promoting yourself thing down.
Yeah.
I have like the funniest experience ever in pickleball for me was at the very, very first MLP in Austin, Texas. In Dreamland, they had, before the tournament started, they had a little, like, all of the pros and their family and people who they brought, like, went to dinner together.
Okay.
And it was in this giant, like, bar area in Texas, and they had, like,
how did it be a ton of people?
It was a lot. And it had, like, this not mini golf, they had a golf simulator on, like, the second floor, like, overlooking the people. And
was this on the Dreamland property?
It wasn't. It was somewhere in Austin.
Okay.
And I remember like I was like one of the only kids there other than Anna Lee, and like she wasn't really doing too much because I don't know, but I like went up to my mom as we were like going through this sort of like buffet area, and I'm like, hey, what am I really gonna do here? Can I like go back to the hotel or something? And Riley just walks past me. He leans over. He's like, Porter, you are going to grab all of the free food you can and eat it. And then he just walked off.
That was all he said.
And I thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
So he heard you talk to your mom.
He's like, you're going to eat all of your free food. And
I have to feed you somehow.
I was like, sure, I'll do that, Riley.
Oh, that's funny.
He's a funny guy.
How many pros are you on like a first name basis with?
A decent amount.
Pretty good amount.
Like, yeah, I feel like there are some pros who you don't approach because they are like
are they just scary?
They're just it's kind of intimidating to talk to people, and so like they're.
Are you going to say which one?
No, I mean like Ben Johns, all of those guys. Like it's tough to approach, but I feel like the majority of them, like either through my mom or just through me, like they know who I am and I know who they are.
You've been attending tournaments for a long time, and like a lot of the OGs, like Newman, like you probably interacted with them a bunch.
And so like it's definitely cool to like go to a PPA and like see how huge the sport's gotten and still have like Jay DeVilliers and like Tyson Loom just come up and talk to me and say hi and stuff, which is, it's great. It's super cool. So
yeah, that is super cool. Yeah, he went with Pro XR.
Oh yeah, we were talking about paddles.
He uses the Zane paddle, and Pro XR is a funny brand to me. Like,
yes,
so they came in like what, a year or so ago, 2 years ago, probably
maybe 2 years.
2 years ago. They came with that handle thing, and no one really cared about it.
Yeah.
Then they sponsored Zane, and Zane's like, make me a paddle, but I don't want the handle.
I don't
thing.
want your signature.
And now that's the only paddle they sell. And they must sell a lot of them.
Yeah.
Because that's the only one they sell. But that paddle in particular kind of blows my mind how well it does. Like I don't see it like everywhere, but I do see it a decent amount.
Yeah.
But like it's a 14 millimeter, super long handle. It doesn't really give you much power.
Kind of basic almost.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty basic. I don't feel like it gives you enough power to offset the kind of forgiveness level it gives you. But maybe it plays good when you weight it up a ton. But all their pros use it. Newman, I don't know. Maybe they'll make a signature with Newman. Pro are like throwing out signatures.
They make the colors, so I would assume Riley gets one.
Oh,
sure.
That's what they've been doing. Like Connor Garnett got a color.
Yeah,
but that's probably what they'll do.
Yeah.
I imagine they come out with a thermoform or something here.
I mean, I would assume so. Like they've had the Zane paddle for a while now.
Yeah,
so I
imagine
they probably gotta get something new. So,
but yeah, there's that, and then this is another funny paddle story from this week. So Kyle Trenga, you know Kyle.
I love Kyle.
He's a local diadem rep.
Yep.
And he works it. He does pretty well. There's a lot of diadem in the area because of Kyle.
Yeah.
But he's also very active on the socials. He's in every single Discord group. He's in every Facebook group.
Yeah. He's great.
Cupcake Destroyer.
Cupcake Destroyer 33. If you've been online, you've probably seen him.
You've seen Kyle.
He's great. He's so funny.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And what I love most about Kyle is he's not afraid to say what he's thinking.
Oh yeah.
So if a brand posts something that he thinks is ridiculous, he's going to tell them.
Yeah.
And so Proton is one of these brands.
Yes.
That
Proton.
They just make these like ridiculous claims about their paddles. #1 in spin, #1 power, just #1 everything. If you try our paddle and it doesn't change your life, you can have a full refund.
Right.
Just these like crazy stuff. And he's like, he's been responding to like multiple posts for Proton. He's like, you don't do demos. You charge like $280 for your crap. They look goofy.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. Their claims are crazy.
Anyway, so he bugs them, and it ends up leading to a conversation with the CEO. So it's Kyle and the CEO.
Oh my god,
it's just so funny to me that they like would give him the attention.
So crazy, dude.
Yeah. So he gets on the phone with their CEO and negotiates them to send him a bunch of paddles. So he and I tried him out this week, or we just ran some testing because he's like, send them. I'll test them with Pickleball Effect. We'll see how you guys compare. So we ran like the RPMs, the spin, the power, and like one of their paddles does spin really well. Like it's definitely up there. I mean, it's not like the ultimate spin paddle, but it spins well. They have another one that has good power, but the spin was a little weaker. Anyways,
I touched Andre's paddle.
Did you touch it?
And it's kind of rubbery almost.
Like
it's very interesting.
He uses like adhesion. So that one actually gets pretty good spin. It does get good spin.
It's not great control.
Yeah, it's pretty thin, kind of board feeling. But anyways, we tested it out, and they're okay. And anyway, it just made me laugh that it escalated to the point where and this isn't like a small company, like they do like softball bats.
Yeah, it is crazy.
You play baseball, like Pro XR is a thing in baseball.
Yes, yeah. So
or at least the slanted handle is.
Yeah, so the slanted handle, I'm not sure who came up with that, if it was Pro XR, if it was.
Apparently it was Pro XR.
I mean, that's what they claim. They also claim they have fastest reloads in the game. So
you dispute that?
I mean, I'm not gonna fight Pro XR, but I mean,
if you do, you'll get a call from the CEO.
I'd have to talk to Ray J. But like in baseball, the bats would oftentimes have the like what we would call axe handle or Pro XR handle in pickleball. That was slanted because it's very, very good for your one swing that you're making because you can really latch onto it and get a lot of torque. But then again, those handles are way, way bigger than pickleball handles. You're definitely not in a dinking rally with a baseball bat. And so I actually used them when I was playing baseball, and I really, really liked it. Cool. And I've tried them out in pickleball, and I think they are very, very fine once you get used to them. But you will immediately get screwed over if you like switch accidentally in between points. Yeah. Because you're not going to know how to hold it. And then also if you play with it for a while and you come back to a normal paddle, it's going to throw you off so much.
So like you have to stick with it.
It's kind of like you have to either go all in or not. And so
Yeah, there are moments where like it feels good, but there's other moments where like when you get real wristy,
it's odd.
It's kind of
for sure.
odd. So, but it obviously didn't catch on in pickleball.
Right. So,
but they still have commercials that promote it.
Yep, they
and
do.
then they go sell their Zane
and then
paddle.
they sell the Zane paddle.
I don't know how that works.
I mean,
but it's working apparently.
It's doing well.
So Proton's Andre Daescu.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching him play, and I don't know. I'm just thinking brands here. And what's the name of the brand that he wears now? It's new. It's a new. They recently sponsored him.
I know.
Your mom's sponsored by him.
Oh,
Leo
Rev. I can't say it. It's Leo Rever, whatever it is. Who knows? No one can pronounce it.
He's wearing like one of their referee shirts. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I sadly do. It burns my eyeballs. They're so bad.
They sponsor quite a few people now. Your mom doesn't wear any of their crazy shirts.
No,
it's mostly the dudes.
She only has to play. She only has a legging and short sponsorship, which is crazy good.
That's the best. The only route you can go with them.
Because she doesn't have to wear the gross, disgusting.
That's the only thing I would wear from their brand. Their shirts are.
It's
so
wild
bad.
when I'm
so bad.
playing against someone with. I don't know if I ever have because no one wears them. No one wants to wear them besides the pros they've sponsored. So I have no idea how they do well.
There's no way people buy it. I don't think people buy it.
It's like watching them use a referee outfit with a giant V-neck while playing is it's like I dress ridiculously and I could never wear that.
No one can wear it.
It's crazy.
They all look ridiculous out there, and I feel bad for them. I feel bad for them.
I've seen like a million comments from old ladies online like wishing that Jay would just play shirtless instead.
Yeah, Jay's a big sponsor from it, and he wears those the Raiders logo jerseys.
I mean, I have no idea. Maybe they are very comfortable shirts. That's the only thing I can think of. But otherwise,
even if it was, dude,
yeah, it's not.
Like, did Andre he's winning, he's making money, but he needed more apparently.
Right. I mean,
I don't understand.
They seem willing to sponsor a lot of people. So I mean, Leo Rever will wear your outfit for like a day before we hate it.
Oh, I hope somebody comments and says, "I'm wearing that right now."
I'm wearing it right now. I'm unsubscribing.
Like, we just lost.
Thanks for letting us.
We lost one subscriber just now.
Like,
we didn't want them anyways.
We don't. Yeah. If you're wearing gross clothes, get out of here.
You're done. No. You're done. But yeah, sticking with their pro scene, so APP switched balls along with PPA. Mm-hmm. So APP is now using the owl ball. I haven't hit it. There hasn't really been much talk about it, but there's been a lot of talk about the Vulcan ball for PPA. Mm-hmm. So I got the Vulcan. I got some in last week. I tried it out for the first time. I'm putting together a video that I'm going to drop later this week. Yeah, looking at the performance of the Vulcan compared to the Yola one, the Franklin, the Selkirk. Mm-hmm. So I got a handful of balls I'm comparing it to.
Yeah, I saw your YouTube short that you posted.
Yeah, that was probably the best short I've ever made.
It was very good. Yeah, it was well made. Go check it out.
Yeah, thank you. It doesn't exist anymore. They can't. Well, if you missed it, I'm sorry.
Bummer.
Follow me on Instagram. Yeah, you'll see the next one.
But yeah, it was very interesting.
Now. I'm gonna do so many good stories.
Oh, I'm excited. Yeah.
So many good stories.
I was very it was a very good video. It was interesting to see all of the specs
I had my stank face just ripping the ball. Mm-hmm. But I hear so the Vulcan ball got dropped. You couldn't buy it till a couple weeks ago, so it's starting to hit the market. Everyone always says the exact same phrase when they're describing a new ball that comes to their market. They're like, "Oh, it plays somewhere in between a Franklin
and a Dura."
That is the phrase that you hear. No one actually knows how they all compare. So I'm getting some real data on how these balls actually compare.
Specs is cool.
So been looking at that. Essentially, preliminary data says that the Duras play significantly faster than the other four. The other four are just similar.
Right.
There's really not a huge difference. And the Franklin was noticeably softer and less powerful.
Right.
But it's still closer to the others than the Dura just crushes them.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. I don't know. It bugs me. It bugs me. And all these new balls are coming out. I don't like it.
Yeah. I'm on your side there. It's just annoying because you've got, we kind of have something that works, use a Dura in the summer and a Franklin in the winter.
Yep.
And that's kind of a great system because
everyone agreed with it.
It'll each ball will last forever. They'll both feel great. And just having, there's just too many options. Because
Too many options.
like, people are probably gonna latch on to like the owl ball and like only play with that and be like, oh, do you have an owl ball? Do you have an owl ball?
Yeah.
And if you
So-
bring like a Franklin or whatever,
so
they're just gonna
annoying.
get pissed off.
And balls do play differently. Like it's
Yeah.
annoying switching balls and having to
Exactly.
adjust to it.
You don't want to do that every time.
It's really annoying. That's what bugs me the most. Like whatever the ball is, I don't care. I just want it to be the same ball. And
Right.
like you said, we had the thing going with the Dur in the summer, Franklin winter. I wish we could just stick with that, but now everyone is introducing balls, so that's annoying. But something we have to deal with. So I actually did play with the Vulcan, like some games outside of the testing that I did, and I wasn't crazy about it. It gets very out of round. It bounces like all the faster outdoor balls do get out of round quicker. It's pretty common. So that's not unusual, but I did feel like it was bouncing a little more erratically than like a Dur or something. And so I'll have to play some more games with it, but I did do the one session, more to come there. But initial impression, like I wasn't crazy about it.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to train or play with it or buy it unless I have a PPA tournament next week.
Right. And that's the whole thing is I don't see any reason why people would switch. I mean, to an extent, the market's so diluted, and just in general, everything is so diluted with Franklins and Duras that it's probably going to be rare to see one unless you are practicing for a tournament.
Yeah, I don't see a reason to do it. And so, like, I bet there's a big rush to buy the Vulcans now, but, like, I bet they don't do that great.
Yeah, and that's one thing you said to me was that most ball companies, if you're buying your like average pack of 3 or whatever, it's like $4 a ball.
Yeah.
But as you go up, the price decreases.
Right.
Buy
more balls, less
and
price.
so like Franklin's, you can buy 100 balls for way, way, way cheaper than if you're paying $4 each ball, $400. And that was the thing you said to me was the Vulcans, you can buy more balls, but they don't do that.
They don't
thing,
decrease the price,
which is crazy. I think that's like going to turn off a lot of players because
Big time.
no one sells them in person. So if you're ordering online, you're going to be ordering 3 Vulcan balls online, and no one wants to order just 3.
No.
And so,
Yeah, I think it's going to hurt them.
for sure,
So
it's
like they
very
sold out pretty
interesting.
fast. Like I ordered pretty early and got some, but like I don't think you can buy them right now.
Yeah,
But yeah, I because of the price and because they don't really play that differently, no one's gonna play it.
Yeah.
Like I think it's gonna hurt them in the long run, especially at that price point. There's just no reason to go buy them unless you're training for a tournament. And even in that scenario, I'm only gonna play with the ball a couple of days, like the week before.
yeah, and then they're just going to go back in your closet.
So yeah,
right?
so I bought like a 6-pack. I probably will have those the rest of the year and won't need any more.
Yeah,
And at least Selkirk did their warranty thing, which is cool.
Yeah.
They are a little bit cheaper. They were under $4 a ball, and it gets a little cheaper as
like
you get more.
$3.50 or something.
Yeah, and so, anyways, I'm still a fan of the Dura Franklin combo. But if we play something else during the winter, whatever. But it's not going to be a Vulcan for me.
Yeah, totally.
And then sticking with some more stuff around here. So APP has announced new location for their headquarters.
I heard about that.
So this is going to be in Fort Lauderdale. The place they're staying at, or they're building it, is it's like a facility called the Fort.
Very clever.
Hilarious.
Man. Yeah,
Hilarious.
Very clever.
I'm really proud of them.
They watched all your videos and I'm like, this guy's funny. I bet he would think this is good too.
He would put it on his podcast.
Yeah. They knew exactly what they were doing.
But what was really cool about this announcement to me was I don't think they built this facility yet, but it's going to be huge. 43 courts, but they're trying to be like a developmental center for up and coming players.
Yeah.
Like Florida, I know is big in tennis. Like people will move to Florida,
Yes.
train from a young age, and like they mix school and tennis. Like that is their life.
It's
And I think that's what they're going to try and do at this place. Is they're going to like people are going to move there, train there, and they're going to try to be pro pickleballers. And I feel like that's the next phase. Like that's where the next round of talent's going to come from.
Absolutely. I think like it is so incredibly important to drill and to train. And I know like almost every single pro does, but to an extent they're just doing it in wherever they can.
Yeah.
And to have some sort of facility dedicated to not just playing but actually like improving it's awesome. And especially like I think that's a very cool thing by the AVP because I think like USTA or something has dedicated USTA facilities for people to train, and like having
Keep talking. I brought you a drink.
Okay.
Well, I didn't know if someone was going to come, but I brought an extra just in case.
This is,
I'm trying to make friends.
Okay. Well, I mean, hopefully it's good, but like, having contracted players should not only entail giving them money, like I feel like giving them accommodations and accommodation. I don't know.
Accommodations.
My words not
accommodations.
My words aren't Englishing right now.
Englishing.
And so, like giving them those benefits of a dedicated training facility, even though it's in Florida, and I hate Florida. It's gross and humid.
You have to play with the Dura there.
I think that's very cool. It's very, very exciting.
Yeah, I think it's really exciting. And they're not going to be the last. Like, there's going to be more centers that come up.
No.
Cactus Cooler, dude. That's the name of this drink. Those listening, we're drinking Cactus Cooler. Orange Pineapple Blast. Got these at Winco.
Winco's great.
I had these. This is like a childhood drink. I saw them when I was at Winco, and I was like, I'm buying that, and I'm going to drink it in my podcast.
Oh, that one tastes good.
Do you taste the blast?
It's definitely blasting.
The Orange Pineapple Blast.
It's a onset of orange, but then it just hits you with that pineapple blast.
Yeah, they were good.
These are tasty.
And do cactuses taste like orange pineapple?
No, I've had cacti.
Have you? It doesn't taste like this?
No.
So I don't know why. Maybe it's just because the alliteration here, the Cactus Cooler is what they're going for.
Yeah,
I don't know where cactus comes from.
Who knows?
You're only allowed to drink this in the desert.
That's what it looks like.
Or our podcast.
We're technically in the desert, so it counts. We're okay. But
are we? Idaho's a desert.
Yeah, Idaho's. Boise is in the valley. It's a giant desert.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that. We had a ton of snow recently. That didn't seem very deserty.
No, it's not a very deserty place. It's the city of trees, but ecologically, it's a desert. So.
Okay. Ecologically, that's a good word. That's Englishy.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Environmental science.
It happens every once in a while.
You failed that class. I can't believe you just pulled that out.
It's an ecological biome, Braydon.
You did retake the course, so you had to learn your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What did you get the second time you took it?
I'm still taking it.
Oh, you're in it right now?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Don't fail it.
No, this is my promise to you, podcast people. I will not fail this environmental science class.
This is your last semester.
Mm-hmm.
You got to do it.
I want to be done.
But this is an exciting thing, I think, with the developmental stuff. So like a week or two ago, Hannah Black came into this area to train with your mom.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same idea. Like
it was
like we're in an indoor facility. There's opportunities for these training people come in. I imagine she'll get more.
I mean, yeah, I think like what happened with Hannah is she just stayed with us for a few days, and like all day my mom, Dom, Hannah were just out there drilling and like working on shots over and over and again. And honestly, like within those 3 days, even I saw improvements in Hannah.
Imagine if that was like her life.
Is crazy
as a child growing up.
There's just going to be, that's the whole thing is like once there are like 6-year-old kids, but being like able to go there and get better. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be wild.
Yeah.
For sure.
The junior scene is going to grow. It's pretty small right now. I mean, like how many people are doing what you're doing? I mean, there's a handful of like touring kids around your age, under 20.
I mean,
but like the burgeoning, like players like you who are just like on the edge.
Right.
Like how many people are really going for it?
Yeah. I feel like there's a lot of like just turned 20-year-olds who are good, who are like going for it. I would still say that like under 20, maybe even like under 20.
Under 20 people.
Under 20 years old.
Age. Okay.
There's probably 20 or under. So,
around 20, under 20 and under.
Yeah. So I would say there's probably like 20 people.
So it's not a huge pool.
It's not huge at all. There's definitely a lot more people who are playing a little more seriously. But like the difference between going to a tournament and playing a high level versus like training at a high level and really, really caring is definitely prominent. There's a lot more junior players who try to go out and they play higher level and all of that stuff, but it definitely, there's a difference between, like, you can tell the people who really care, who want to take this full time, and so that kind of narrows it down to a much smaller group.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't realize it was that tight of a group. I would have guessed it was bigger.
Yeah,
but I would think over the coming years, like sooner rather than later, that's going to change.
I would agree. Yeah,
and people like to talk about Dylan Frazier and how he grew up playing pickleball, like pickleball only, and he's one of the top male players right now.
Yeah,
like we're gonna get more Dylan Fraziers, we're gonna get more Porter
totally.
Bars.
Well,
you play. You've been playing. From
I've been
a young
playing
age.
since I was not since I was 10. So it's been like 7 years that I've been playing, but definitely for those first like 4, 5, even 6 to an extent years, like I definitely wasn't really taking it seriously.
Yeah.
And so once there are, kids who are very, very invested,
they're gonna come.
Like, yeah, I mean, especially once it like hits Asia, and it's very culturally like acceptable to have your kids work on something from a very young age. Once there are like people training their kids to play pickleball from like 3 years old, like we're screwed. I mean, like it's incredible because pickleball already is such like it's a very easy sport to get into, and it's one that you can improve pretty quickly on.
Yeah.
And especially when you're, younger and you've got the ability to still learn a lot of new skills, people are going to take over.
How many kids are in this, facility here that play and train fairly regularly? Like, is there are there some 10-year-olds, 15-year-olds that are?
I don't think there's any 10-year-olds really. I mean, I think
so that hasn't hit this area yet.
Yeah, there's 3 main juniors. Me, Chloe Iglesi, and excuse me, this pineapple's blasting.
It's coming up. It's coming up.
But
it's blasting out now.
There's me, Chloe Iglesi, and Grayson, who's a kid I actually used to coach. And during the time that I stopped to like focus on school, he ended up just growing a ton and like getting really good. And I like
that's awesome.
I just
what level does he play? I don't know if I've met Grayson. I know Chloe's
he's like
phenomenal.
a 4.045 right now, but he hasn't been playing for that long. And the crazy thing is, what happened is he used to be a righty when I was teaching him.
He's a lefty
now? But then
now?
he hurt his arm and he completely relearned pickleball
So
as a lefty, and he's really good.
Does he switch now, or does he only play
No,
left?
he only plays left hand.
Oh, that's fascinating.
And he's like really, really good with his left hand. And so just like seeing these juniors and knowing that they're going to be able to definitely like take over is very exciting.
Yeah, this will be a fun development to follow. And there's going to be a lot of change here. And like the pro scene is going to look so different 5 to 10 years from now.
Totally.
Like right now, you have a lot of people transitioning, right? Like they come from another sport. Like I look at like Christian Alshon or something where, came here from college tennis, hit the grind for a year, and now he's one of the better players. You're not going to be able to do that in 5 to 10 years.
No, I mean, like it's definitely crazy the way pickleball's grown, because it just hit compared to a lot of, you don't see a lot of emerging sports these days. And so being in one and seeing just how quickly it jumped from not really having a pro scene to having new people coming on every 3 weeks is like, it's incredible. And like the majority of them nowadays are coming from tennis. Like I think the very, very first one that I really realized who came from tennis was Anna Bright.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, another one of those who switched over.
She was
got really good within a year, one of the top players.
Like first one that I really realized, like, oh, she's a tennis player and she's easily can take pickleball seriously and get really good. Mm-hmm. But I think eventually that's gonna start to plateau. Because the game is
the amount of newcomers,
like the amount of
transition
newcomers, because the game is gonna keep evolving, and once it starts to even differentiate itself from tennis even more, like it's gonna be hard for a lot of like tennis players, racket players in general to come in and take over that quickly.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and like there's no other sport where you can
not
get
really
to the level they've attained within like a year.
I would say the closest I've seen is badminton.
Like, not to take down like what they've done because it's really impressive.
No,
it's not easy to get to that level.
Yeah, but having that background like shot them up.
Oh, 100%. But there's lots of people with that background that haven't been able to do what they've done, right? Like there's definitely some that have tried and haven't been able to pull off the same level of success. Yeah, chamois. We'll see if dude. Did you watch Jeannie Bouchard play?
I did. Yeah.
What did you think of that? Dude, it was like I felt bad for her.
It was not great.
Like there were some moments where it didn't look like she'd hit a pickleball before this.
The funniest thing, I think one of the funniest clips in pickleball is Jeannie Bouchard hitting a driver, whatever, and it goes past, and her opponent tosses her the ball. She just stands there.
Like waiting for waiting like
for
one of the first points
to come and get it.
That was so funny,
and I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was really funny.
But yeah,
we'll see how she responds to her last tournament. Like she's got to feel a little fire after that.
Yeah, if someone's coming in from tennis and like they aren't doing well, I feel like any type of tennis racket sport background is going to help you out so much. And I know that if Jeannie Bouchard like tries, if she takes it seriously,
that's the question, right?
That she's going to be a pro. There's like no doubt about that.
Yeah, she did not look the part. I mean,
and I feel like that's the main thing is pickleball is such an easy sport to go pro in almost right now.
I mean, compared to other
sports,
like I will never be able to go pro. Like
I think you got it.
Those guys are incredible.
But
like I don't want to undervalue like their skill because they are insanely good.
Oh, completely.
But like you're right. Like when you do compare it to other sports, it's different.
It's pretty easy. And I feel like as we keep progressing, as the game keeps evolving.
Well said. Well said.
It's taken me
the pronunciation was fantastic on that.
But as the game keeps evolving, like eventually it's going to get to a point where it's much, much, much more difficult to break out. And that's only a matter of time, I think.
Yeah, so, you're hitting it at a good time, I really think.
Yeah, because
like
I'm lucky in this position.
With your position here at TFP, the amount you get to play, you can train, you got some really good talent here to help grow with you, and you can do it, dude. I really think you can. It's going to be fun watching your journey and kind of hearing your perspective from tournaments as we progress throughout the year. But dude, I think that's it. We did a podcast.
Awesome. We did one.
Finally.
Oh man, that felt good. I feel like we did a good job. I think the people are going to enjoy this.
I hope so. I'm excited about it, and this is a really cool element. It's much easier to talk.
Yeah.
When we're in person like this, and we have a lot of shared experiences. A lot of the same people, and we talk all the time. So this will be fun. I'm excited about this, and I hope everyone enjoys listening.
Yeah.
Please tune in again next week. Thanks, y'all.
Yeah, we'll see ya. Bye-bye.